Man, I can't believe it's almost that time of the year again. Honestly, it's one of my favorite times of the year to catch crappie, and that is the spawn. Now, I live up in Michigan. The spawn normally starts anywhere from mid-March to mid-May, all the way through, almost the end of June sometimes. The temperature is very it fluctuates a lot here, so it really depends. I just got to keep an eye on it, and I get out there accordingly. And by that I mean I'm out there when it's the ice pretty much breaks for like a week, and I'm out there even though it's really cold. I want to be out there and catch fish as soon as they're ready. So the cool thing about catching crappie or big panfish, bluegill, stuff like that. So I'm getting out there. It's that time of the year, I'm gonna be getting out there. I'm gonna be catching those bluegill, crappie, all them panfish that just taste the best. I target big ones. You do catch some little ones sometimes, but mainly I'm using just the right size bait to get those bigger ones. It really is one of the best times of the year to go out. The weeds aren't built up. The water's still cool, but the sun comes up early. You can get out there, you can find your normal structure. If you have lily pads, they're not overgrown and taking up, a lot of space to where, these fish don't have places to hide. And they're going to be primarily shallow because that's where the warmer water is going to be. It is a lot of fun. I love fishing in the spawn, and I highly recommend getting out there and doing it too. And, this is one of the best times of the year to catch crappie from the bank. So just, an intro into how to fish in the spawn, where you're going to look like to find them, what kind of stuff, you're going to look for to find these bigger fish, that are going to be out there feeding, getting ready to spawn. And I'm going to give you all the tips to do it. I'm going to show you exactly how I work it so you can have a great time getting out there catching a lot of fish. All right, let's go.
All right, everyone. So we're going to get out there. We're going to pick out a bait to start with. And I'm just kind of looking through, I want to use something not too big, but not too small. I want to get some good eater sized fish. And I'm going to pull out this Bobby Garland baby shad. It's got a white pearl color bottom, and it's got the sharp glitters on the top, the silver and black. I feel like that's a good natural style bait for the pre-spawn. Something that those fish are looking to feed up on, before they get out there and spawn. But yeah, see, I just casually rigged this on a 16th ounce jig, just right through the middle, right out the back, just like you would any normal jig. And I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna work this guy in a slip bobber. So I got this bait out there just hanging out under my slip bobber. I'm running about 4.5 foot deep. And as you can see, the water, you can see the current coming. So it's going to do a lot of the work itself. If it's not very windy or there's no current, a lot of times you can twitch the slip bobber. But I didn't have to do a whole lot because, it was pretty windy out there. But I pulled out this nice pumpkin seed. I can't complain about pulling out a pumpkin seed. They taste great. So I caught this guy, and I'm going to take him home with me. So the rule is that if you're out there and you're fishing for 15 minutes and you're not getting bit, it's always recommended to switch colors at least. So I switched to this Cajun Cricket Bobby Garland bait. I got these at Walmart. They're super cheap. I posted a link in the description to the stuff I'm using today. These were like $3.99 for a 18 pack, excuse me. and they're extremely durable baits. So they work very well. You can't complain. But yeah, I'm gonna actually toss this guy around just on my rod, cast and retrieve, and see what we can get there. So I yanked up my first crappie of the day. Got him right in the top of that mouth, right where you want them to be bit at. Um, just a nice slow cast and retrieve. That's all it took in these pre-spawn waters. So I'm looking at drop-offs. Drop-offs that are close to really shallow water. The reason I'm doing that is because when the pre-spawn comes around, you have the males going out to the spawning locations and start making beds. But they're not in that location the entire time because it still gets pretty cold at night. So they're going to be hanging out closer to those drop-off ledges, kind of going back and forth. So I'm hanging out in that area. It was starting to get a little warm during the day, but it's still cold at night, and I'm just fishing those drop-off areas. That's where I was having luck in the pre-spawn, finding those fish. But yeah, as you can see here, I got hooked up right away again. Another decent sized bluegill. He's gonna go awesome in the fryer tonight. And then as I started to move a little bit closer to the bank, I noticed that there were some fish hanging out in the shallows already, just up there making their beds and getting ready to spawn. They were in that transition period. So I'm like,
Slabs.
okay, sweet. I found out where they are. Now I'm just gonna fish these areas hard, and I'm gonna catch them. But yeah, I caught this guy pretty fast. Didn't take very long. He hit it very soon after it hit the water, so he was in pretty shallow water there. So I wanted to give something a little
Not sure
different a
where
try.
this
So
way
I
either.
tried out one
These
of
are
these
60 ounce.
Johnson Beetle Boo
Small hook.
little hair jigs, little marabou jig. Just straight chartreuse with
Should do
the
the
white
trick.
tail. These are pretty cheap too. I got them linked in the description there. You can get a 10
hit
pack. They're
crappie.
just like
Should hit
$2.50, like
bluegills.
$2.50 or something. That's
Not quite as
very cheap,
long.
very good bait. Light wire hook. They work great. So I'm gonna toss this guy around, see what I can do with them.
Slow. Something. We got here, boy. We got another big old slab bluegill. Look at that guy, man. Holy cow. That guy is massive. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you.
going on my string. Oh no. He's gone. I shall reel on this guy.
Yeah, but I'm still fishing these baits the same way, just nice and slow. Just kind of casting, retrieving, bringing it back. And it seems to be working. Really no complaints for me. It's working very well. Just got to keep that bait in their
Not
face, and they're gonna
quite a
come bite
slab,
it.
but very good.
They
Bluegill.
want to feed up and getting ready for the spawn. And then of course, I had to have some time for some crappie magnet. Got the Mardi Gras chartreuse tail on there. Just gonna throw this around, see what happens.
Fix that.
Also linked in the description.
Let's see.
But yeah, as you can see, these lily pads haven't grown too thick yet. They're still kind of just starting to sprout up, and
Big
you're gonna
enough.
find a lot of fish in between them. So that's a great place to fish in the pre-spawn at spawn time. Those fish are gonna be in there feeding on bait fish. And then by the time it gets closer to summer, it's probably going to be too thick to fish. So this is one of the greatest opportunities to get in there and fish. I catch a lot of fish in that area. So, and usually the water's pretty clear, so try to use something natural. That chartreuse tail gives a more natural looking presentation in the water. That's why I was going with that. Yeah, so I'm just walking back with my stringer with a nice little table fare for tonight for dinner. So yeah, I'm not gonna complain by any means. Not too bad for a pretty quick trip out there. I was only out there for like maybe an hour and a half, and I was able to bag all these guys. And yeah, I don't know about you guys, but panfish they just are the best tasting fish out there. You really cannot beat a panfish that's nice. I know it's a little bit more work trying to catch more of them to get more meat, but man, they just taste amazing. So I had a good time. I got some ice in my cooler. I'm gonna drop them in there. I'm gonna take them home, fillet them up, and we're gonna have them for dinner.
All right, guys. So we went out there. We got a handful of fish. We're gonna have a meal or two in the freezer. I dumped them in my. I have them dumped in my cooler. I'm taking them home. Gonna fillet them up and freeze these guys, or I might even cook them. It depends on what the wife and the kids want. But this was a really quick session. I was only out there for like an hour. Really, anytime you can get out in the spring to fish, you need to get out there and you need to fish because that is the best time to get out there and catch fish. They're out there, they're lurking, they're trying to feed up, just before they spawn. And there's not a whole lot of cover for them, because it hasn't grown. The weeds haven't grown. And it's when they first start to get active after the winter. That's when they're going to start feeding, their metabolism is increasing. They need to eat a lot more food. And they're active, man. Definitely my favorite time of the year. Had a great time doing it today. Just a quick little session showing you where I'm looking, where they are, how I'm fishing it. Definitely ultralight tackle. Great time. Cannot beat it. And hey, you know what, guys? I appreciate you watching my video. Subscribe for more content. I'm always dropping fishing content as we go throughout the year, every single week. And I'm explaining how I'm doing things, how I'm fishing this stuff. You're gonna learn stuff along the way. I love my fishing adventures, and I'm just trying to share what I got going on. I'm just a guy who likes to fish, and I'm just sharing how I'm doing it. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. We'll see you next time. Later.